Hi there, this is Sir J.K. Gallade, here to provide an answer to a question that I ask myself. Is it possible to beat Pokemon Legends ZA, a game that takes place entirely in one city with real-time battle aspects, by only using these two Pokemon? This is Gardevoir, the Embrace Pokemon, and Gallade, the Blade Pokemon. Both are psychic types from the Rust evolution line, with Gardevoir also being a fairy type and Gallade a fighting type. Both have the same base stat total of 518, with Gardevoir's primary focus being its special attack and Gallade's main strength being its physical attack. The best part about this game being only in Lumiose City is that this dynamic duo can transform and power up greatly with Mega Evolution. Can Gardevoir and Gallade bring me all the way to the end credits of Legends ZA? Well, let's find out together, as I welcome you to this Pokemon Legends ZA challenge run, where I will try to beat the game by using only Gardevoir and Gallade. And now let's quickly go over the rules, with the first one being the obvious one. I can only use Gardevoir and Gallade in all the battles. That includes Rogue Mega Fights and promotion matches. The second rule is I'm prohibiting the use of items during battle like potions and full restores, but held items like berries, shell belt, rocky helmet, etc. are acceptable. And the third rule is that I must take this awesome tandem all the way to rank A, defeating every single promotion match, and prove that Gardevoir and Gallade are the only two Pokemon worthy of saving Lumiose City from complete and utter demolition. So without any further delay, it's time we begin the challenge, as I arrive at Lumiose City as the male avatar. And before I meet up with rival Tawny for the first time, I am pressed with two revelations. The first one is, I cannot use any of the 3 starter Pokemon you get to choose at the beginning after the tutorial is done, but I had to pick one of them, and I chose the water starter from the Johto region, Totodile. After surviving day 1 in Lumiose City, Tawny makes me a member of Team MZ, and once I was able to access the Pokemon Center, I brought 2 level 1 Ralts freshly hatched from an egg in Pokemon Violet via Pokemon Home to bring into the game. I named the female Ralts after Kalos region champion Diantha that had a Gardevoir as her ace, and I named the male Ralts after Wally, a character in the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Hoenn region remakes on the Nintendo 3DS that had a Mega Gallade as his ace. Switching Pokemon in and out from home that was in Legends ZA briefly definitely helped in the process of getting Wally and Diantha ready for the first promotion match of this game, giving them both access to valuable TMs in Mabel's research, especially once I reach level 17, where I get all 3 elemental punches. After the training session was done, I was able to get Wally and Diantha both up to level 10 before hearing the first announcement from my ZA Royale app on my Rotom phone, which will declare that my first opponent is an ambitious taxi driver by the name of Zach that has a lot of experience in promotion matches, but not a lot of experience in winning promotion matches, considering he's on an illustrious 99 match losing streak. Now that night is officially here, I'm now officially in the ZA Royale for the first time, and with Wally and Diantha combined, we were able to beat 3 consecutive trainers to earn my first Challenger's ticket. However, there is a bonus trainer, which is exactly why I picked Totodile for the occasion. Its last bit of service to me is to beat this one trainer with a level 18 Pidgeotto and a level 18 Onix to get Wally and Diantha both up to level 12. Getting the TM for Ice Fang played a major role in the process, considering both of that optional trainer's Pokemon are weak to that move, and Onix is 4 times weak to water-type attacks. The reason why getting those 2 Ralts up to level 12 for this first promotion match being important as it is it's the level that Ralts learns Draining Kiss, which will be the main form of healing, especially for Diantha, throughout this entire run. I'm not sure if Zach is originally from the Kalos region or even Lumiose City, considering his team of 3 Pokemon are all from the first generation, with his first Kanto region Pokemon being the Water and Psychic type Slowpoke, a Pokemon with a beefy HP stat and high physical defense. I chose to lead things off with Diantha, coming in with the moveset of Draining Kiss, Side Shock, Light Screen, and Protect. Once Diantha finished off Slowpoke with Draining Kiss, in came Pidgey, as I swapped in Wally with the moveset of Draining Kiss, Confusion, Ice Punch, and Protect. Ice Punch was needed to hit Pidgey super effectively, needing a second one for the KO. I kept Wally in to square off against Zach's ace Pokemon Pikachu, who took Wally down to the halfway point of his HP with Thunder Shock and a Quick Attack before Wally got all the way back to full HP thanks to a Held Oranberry and by using Draining Kiss on Pikachu, who was no longer an issue at that point. After protecting against its Nux Thunder Shock, Wally knocks out Pikachu with another Draining Kiss, giving Zach his 100th straight loss, and me a new rank. This is the only time in this challenge you get to see 2 Ralts win a promotion match, as my rank rises up to Y, and we can only go up from here. No longer at the bottom of the ZA Royale rankings, it gives me the opportunity to find TMs out in the open that Gardevoir and Gallade can both learn, starting with finding the TM for the Ice Special Attack Icy Wind that has the side effect of lowering the opposing Pokemon's speed. But in Pokemon Legends ZA, speed only affects move cooldown, considering this is not a traditional turn-based Pokemon game. After claiming the held item Quick Claw right after getting the Icy Wind TM, here comes my second revelation. The 2 Ralts that I brought over from Violet via Pokemon Home are traded Pokemon and not with my original trainer number, which means they'll gain experience faster, but if you go over the obedience cap, which is currently at 25, they will start to disobey you. So in order to avoid that issue, I used my male Ralts with Fire Punch to burn down Bravos blocking the path where there are 2 static Ralts that both have a 5% chance of showing up as an alpha after you complete the first 3 side missions by Detective Emma, and they also have a 1 in 4,096 chance of being shiny. I found a luxury ball while on the ground, then bought another one at the Pokeball Boutique, and made sure I caught a female and a male Ralts by using only the luxury ball to catch both of them, and fortunately I was able to catch them both on the first try. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the real Wally. This male Ralts that I caught in the luxury ball is smaller than the one that I brought over from Pokemon Violet. It has a neutral, docile nature, and it's somewhat vain. And now for the real Diantha, as I caught this female Ralts at its normal medium size. This Diantha also has a neutral nature, being quirky, and it has good endurance, which is a good thing considering both Gallade and Gardevoir are pretty frail in terms of physical defense. The next best part about this run, after defeating Zach to get your first rank promotion, is that the entire map of Lumiose City is open to you, and you can find a lot of evolution stones lying on the ground. I had to do some scaffolding to get the one that is the most important, especially for a male Ralts, this Dawn Stone. The Ralts evolution line has a relatively early evolution window. It only takes a male and female Ralts to evolve into its middle stage Kirlia at level 20. But from Generation 4 and onward, only a male Ralts can evolve twice at level 20. First to Kirlia, but once you expose the male Kirlia to a Dawnstone, it evolves into Gallade. The first half of the dynamic duo is now ready to dominate. It'll take 10 more levels for my female Ralts to evolve all the way to Gardevoir. But before challenging my next promotion match, I sold every last bit of treasure I found on the ground that I had in my satchel. That way I had enough Pokédollars to purchase an Adamant Mint for Wally to further increase its physical attack, and a Modest Mint for Diantha to sharply boost her special attack. After doing all of the first 3 Emma side mission assignments, she challenged me to a battle one-on-one in Lucabuero, but Wally's now fully evolved into a Gallade, easily taking care from a Reap. After the win, Emma shows off to me for the first time Mega Evolution, something I won't have access to with Gardevoir or Gallade until after winning a certain promotion match towards the end of the game. You'll know exactly which one once we get deeper into this challenge. But for now, it's time to start preparing for my second promotion match in this challenge against the office worker who loves marathons, Ivor. Fortunately, the next battle zone was my favorite one to go to in Legend ZA, near Cafe Gallant in the Magenta District, where Wally and Diantha was able to reel off 35 consecutive wins, giving me more than enough Pokédollars to change out of my Team MZ outfit into an outfit that I think matches well with the theme for this challenge, as I do some work against Yvonne and her team of 3, which includes 2 fairy types that can hit super effectively against Gallade, in Spritzy and Swirlix, 2 Pokemon that are in their first forms, but I also have Gallade learn all 3 elemental punches for her ace Pokemon Vivillon. But for the opening part of this battle, I led off with Diantha, considering it was holding the Quick Claw item that I got previously, as it was able to outpace and outrun both Spritzy and Swirlix, defeating them both with the Psychic Special Attack Side Shock while wearing them down with Draining Kiss and Icy Wind. While as for Vivillon, it goes down in one hit thanks to Wally's super effective Thunder Punch. Once again, Wally gets the knockout to finish off the second straight promotion match. Down goes the busy business lady as I increase my rank to X. We're only scratching the surface of just how powerful Gallade can be once the battles get tougher down the line. After defeating fellow Team MZ member Naveen in a matchup Lita suckered him into having, my next promotion match announcement is nigh as I'm about to face Xavi next for the right to reach rank W. And speaking of W's, I get one right before challenging Xavi, because at level 30, Diantha can finally evolve into the glorious Gardevoir. Which is exactly why I caught those 2 Ralts after winning my first promotion match. That way, I'll always have Pokemon that will obey me, even if they go past the obedience cap, because they have my original trainer name attached to them. Another thing about this benchmark of the run as I claim another challenger's ticket is that the obedience cap after winning your first 2 promotion matches is exactly at 30. And upon evolving to Gardevoir, regardless if it's male or female, Gardevoir automatically learns one of the best fairy special attacks in the game, Dazzling Gleam. But I wasn't going to leave Wally out of the mix, as right outside of the area where those 2 Ralts spawn, I found the TM for Brick Break, a very hard-hitting fighting physical attack. But upon evolving at level 20 from the male Ralts, Gallade learns another powerful fighting attack that is even more stronger than Brick Break. You'll see exactly what it is in this promotion match against Xavi. Wally leads things off against Xavi's first Pokemon, the Bug and Poison type Venipede, who loves to set up a layer of spikes when it enters. Gallade took some chip damage before Wally gets to one-hit KO with a super effective Zen Headbutt. Xavi's next Pokemon, Kadabra, can hit both my Pokemon super effectively with Shadow Ball, but Gallade learns the Ghost physical attack Shadow Claw by TM, which easily wipes out Kadabra. Gallade can easily sweep this entire fight, but I brought in Diantha, now a fully evolved Gardevoir, to one-shot Roselia with Side Shock. Gardevoir only lost 6 of her hit points, considering Roselia also set up spikes, before it went down. The final Pokemon Xavi sends out is the normal type Furfrou, giving Gallade the perfect chance to show off that fighting attack I was talking about, the base 90 physical attack Sacred Sword. A unique attack that slices opposing Pokemon and ignores all stat changes of the target, striking for the full force damage, which was way too much for Xavi to handle. As his team of 4 suffers a crushing defeat, my rank goes up to W. Also, for those who've never played this game, the obedience cap is raised 5 levels to 35. I woke up the next morning after defeating Xavi pretty soundly to increase my rank, feeling mighty good about myself now that Wally and Diantha are fully evolved for the remainder of the challenge, and my next opponent in the ZA Royale app was announced, and it is Rintaro. I kept Wally and Diantha sharp, defeating a countless amount of trainers in the ZA Royale to earn my next challenger's ticket. But I kept going even after earning the ticket until morning came, racking up an impressive 36 victories. And right before taking on Rintaro inside of Restaurant Lena, I reached level 24 in Mabel's research, which earns me the TM for Thunderbolt, one of the best electric special attacks in the game that both my Pokemon can learn, but I taught it to Gardevoir for this matchup against Rintaro, who carries a team of 3 Unova region elemental monkeys. Rintaro's main battle tactic is using Protect early, which is what I aim to exploit by leading with Diantha against the first Pokemon brought out by Rintaro, Simisage. I used the Grass Special Attack Magical Leaf to force Simisage to shield against it. Then I used Draining Kiss to heal from the Vine Whip attack and shook off a Bite before finishing off Simisage with Psyshock. Bite has a 30% chance to flinch, which thankfully did not occur against Gardevoir, which is why I gave Gardevoir the Quick Claw, which triggered against Simipour, who immediately got zapped out of here with a Thunderbolt. The final Pokemon left standing for Rintaro is the Fire Elemental Monkey Simisear, so I gave Wally the chance to close out a 4th straight promotion match, hitting with Brick Break right before Simisear could protect itself, and to rub it in Rintaro's face, I used Fire Punch to finish off the fight. The less stressful part of this run is officially over, but things are about to get serious as my rank increases to rank V. The obedience cap is now at 40, but the second I step out of the restaurant, business picks up for Gallade and Gardevoir. Once I left Restaurant Lena after another promotion match win, night had fallen, and I was immediately met by the 10% form of the legendary Pokemon Zygarde, tasked with keeping the order around the entire Kalos region. Zygarde saw something in me to want to lead me over to a building where he tossed me on top of, and lo and behold, there was an Absol emitting weird energy and was in pain, suffering from what is classified as potential rogue mega evolution energy. That's when Emma and AZ showed up with a Lucario, which gave me a Mega Ring. I now have the ability to Mega Evolve, but it will be a long time before I can acquire the Mega Stones of Gardevoir and Gallade. But for now, I am tasked with the mission of pacifying Rogue Mega Absol, which I was able to do pretty easily alongside Lucario. On the next day, I am challenged to battle by the leader of Team MZ, Tawny, who has a team of 3 Pokemon, which consists of the 2 starters you didn't choose at the beginning of the game at the middle stages, and her ace Pokemon for this fight, which happens to be the Pokemon she will Mega Evolve in Manectric. This is just a small taste of what will be a theme for the remainder of the challenge, as Tawny is the first trainer in Pokemon Legends ZA where you go up against a trainer that will have a Mega Evolved Pokemon as their ace. The game encourages you to use the Absol against her Mega Manectric, but fortunately, you don't have to, as Wally and Diantha handled things brilliantly in defeating Tawny. I then traveled with Tawny to Quasartico Incorporated, where we met up with its secretary, Vinnie. Vinnie chatted with us about the dangers of Rogue Mega Evolution and how it could potentially wreak havoc around the entire town. It was then we found out that Vinnie will be challenging both of us to a promotion match where our rank drastically increases. After strong-arming my way to another challenger's ticket, I made it back to Quasartico Inc. the next morning, where I'm first up against Vinnie, who has a team of 4 Pokemon, all of which are weak to fighting-type moves, which is great for Gallade, and half of his team are weak to fairy-type moves, which is just as good for Gardevoir, meaning that this is a favorable matchup for us, even though we still can't Mega Evolve, much like Vinnie can with his ace Pokemon. Out first for Vinnie is Houndoom, a Pokemon that always sets up a Fire Spin for its first attack. After Gallade took a little bit of damage from that fire spin, we stepped out of it and then one-shot Houndoom with a Sacred Sword. I swapped in Gardevoir thinking that Sharpedo was coming out second, but then Vinnie called my switch and brought Baneri in. But it worked out anyway, thanks to Gardevoir's Quick Claw activating right before in the next second Gardevoir eliminated Baneri with Dazzling Gleam. Sharpedo finally comes out and sets up a Whirlpool, which only took off 4 hit points before Gardevoir lit up the Half Shark with a super effective Thunderbolt. Diantha was on a roll, so I kept her in against the ace Pokemon of Vinnie, the Alola region normal and dragon type Drampa, which can now Mega Evolve. Considering Drampa's only attack it can hit Gardevoir with is Icy Wind, making Twister, a dragon special attack, completely useless. Drampa sets up Safeguard, but it doesn't help Vinnie from suffering a brutal defeat as Gardevoir's combination of Draining Kiss and Dazzling Gleam secures our 5th straight promotion match victory. Shortly after my win, Tawny also defeated Vinnie, which gives us a gigantic rank increase from V to F. The obedience cap in this game also jumps up 20 levels to 60. Now that we're on the cusp of getting to our ultimate goal of reaching rank A, we are now at the point of the game where Vinnie gives us tasks to pacify a series of rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon. For the first series, we have to tackle the rogue Mega Evolutions of Camerupt, Slowbro, and Victory Bell. I elected to start with Camerupt first, relying on Gallade. And speaking of relying on things, this is also the part of the game where we have to rely on using plus moves. It's the situation where you pick a move with one of the 4 face buttons and then press the plus button on your controller. That way, that move becomes a plus move, dealing more damage than normal as if your Pokemon was in a Mega Evolved state. Considering once your Pokemon is Mega Evolved, that is the Pokemon that has the Mega Evolution capability, those moves in your moveset are automatically plus moves. After Lita and I calmed down Camerupt, I then teamed up with Tawny to pacify Rogue Mega Slowbro. And since Slowbro has a very good defense stat, I decided to attack on the special side with Diantha the Gardevoir, dissecting Rogue Mega Slowbro with the moveset of Draining Kiss, Dazzling Gleam, and a super effective Magical Leaf, boosting Gardevoir's special attack and special defense with Calm Mind whenever I get the chance to do so. Both Wally and Diantha have the type advantage being Psychic types against Rogue Mega Victory Bell, but I went with Gallade for this one, considering it can hit super effectively with Psycho Cut, and 2 of the 3 elemental punches being Fire and Ice, also boosting Gallade's physical attack by a stage with Swords Dance. After calming down the first set of Rogue Megas, I decided to have some downtime with Diantha and Wally at the nearest cafe to Hotel Z before gearing up for our next mission. Not wanting to miss a beat after surviving the first round of Rogue Megas, Wally and Diantha completely cut through the ZA Royale like a hot knife through butter to earn my next Challenger's ticket. And upon arriving to Hotel Z, I was actually challenged to battle by the 10% form of Zygarde, which Diantha handled with ease. After the win, Zygarde gives to me what seemingly is an unremarkable pebble, but I assure you that pebble is the most important item I'll carry in my satchel for this entire challenge, but that's for later on. For now, I must prepare for my next promotion match against Canari, but before facing her, I had to go to the electrical substation and ace the Canari Quiz Whiz competition, which ended with a battle against this overbearing Canari fan named Monty, who insulted me by calling me a newbie, and I also took exception to the fact that Monty called my run in the competition, in his words, a fluke, no doubt. Wally and Diantha put Monty in his place by defeating his team of 3 pathetic Pokemon, as the combination of Diantha and the Quick Claw item is starting to be a valuable tool, especially considering I now had to go to Racing Construction, where I was promptly challenged to battle by the King of Scaffolding, Tarragon, who's not only the grandfather of Canari, he's a skilled user of ground types. Gardevoir scored an opening match critical hit with Magical Leaf before knocking out Hippowdon with Mystical Fire, also protecting against Hippowdon's super effective steel physical attack Heavy Slam. I kept Diantha in against Terragon's second Pokemon, Diggersby, who also bit the dust thanks to a Magical Leaf boosted by Diantha's Quick Claw. Wally was the one that I needed to finish off this fight against Terragon's ace Pokemon Excadrill, a ground and steel type. Fortunately, it doesn't have any steel type moves, but once Mega Evolved, it hits even harder. But it wastes its first turn boosting its attack by using Swords Dance, allowing for Gallade to get off a super effective Sacred Sword. Excadrill still took off over half of Gallade's HP with a boosted Dig before going down to Gallade's match-ending Brick Break. After learning that Terragon pulled off some Canari cosplay at the Quiz Wiz competition, I was more than determined to defeat the real Canari, who is a complete opposite of Terragon, considering she uses electric types, and as everyone knows, electric's only weakness is the ground type moves, which I don't have yet for either Wally or Diantha, as Canari leads off with Heliolisk. And since Heliolisk is also a normal type, that made Wally the perfect candidate to lead off this bout, as it one-shots Heliolisk with Sacred Sword. I kept Wally in for the second Pokemon of Canari, Ampharos. After hitting Sacred Sword and remembering that Ampharos has Dragon Pulse as one of its moves, I swapped out and brought Gardevoir in as it took Discharge on the switch, avoiding the 30% paralysis before wiping out Ampharos with Psychic. Canari then summons in Stunfisk as her penultimate Pokemon, as it was able to get some paralysis on Gardevoir with Spark, before the moves of Draining Kiss, Mystical Fire, and Psychic was enough to take down Stunfisk, despite Gardevoir losing over half of its hit points. Canari is now backed into a corner as she's forced to summon her ace Pokemon Electros out fourth. I swapped in Wally because one of the moves of Electros is Eerie Impulse, which lowers the special attack stat of the opposing Pokemon. Gallade was just too quick for Electros, who used Eerie Impulse, allowing for Gallade to finish off Canari's Mega Evolved Ace with the trio of moves being Sacred Sword, Ice Punch, and Psycho Cut, the latter of which ended the fight. The tag team chemistry of Wally and Diantha are once again unrivaled, as I move onward and upward to rank E. With Canari now defeated, I can now Rotoglide, which gives me the chance of adding even more TMs of powerful attacks that Gardevoir and Gallade can learn. I started off by getting the Ghost Special Attack Shadow Ball and the Grass Special Attack Energy Ball for Diantha, and the Bug Physical Attack X-Scissor in Wild Zone 13 for Wally. After catching more Pokemon to fill out research tasks for Professor Mabel, I finally reached level 34, which gives me the powerful TM for Earthquake. Then Team MZ and I got another mission from Vinnie to pacify 3 more Rogue Mega Evolutions, starting with Rogue Mega Beedrill, which I left up to Gardevoir, which was able to hit super effectively with Psychic and Mystical Fire, withdrawing Gardevoir from the battle whenever Beedrill decided to charge up a powerful Pin Missile. And once Beedrill went down, I then took on Rogue Mega Hawlucha, which once again gave Gardevoir the clear edge. Being able to hit with plus moves of Dazzling Gleam, Draining Kiss, and the Stab Psychic, Rogue Mega Hawlucha did not stand a chance, especially after using Calm Mind to boost Gardevoir's special attack, adding on to the fact that you can stop Hawlucha from using its charge-up attack simply by hitting it before Hawlucha can make its move. The next Rogue Mega fight against Banette, however, turns the difficulty up a notch. Gardevoir and Gallade are both weak to 3 types thanks to their dual typings, but the one weakness they both share is the ghost types, which is exactly what Banette is. This was the first Rogue Mega fight where I did have to use some healing items, which does not go against my rules, considering I only use healing items for Rogue Mega fights if necessary, but not against battles that take place in the story, which includes promotion matches. Fortunately, I stacked Gallade with a moveset based entirely of moves that have a heightened chance of landing a critical hit, which are Psycho Cut, Shadow Claw, and the dark physical attack Night Slash, with the last two moves being super effective against Banette, who went down thanks to 5 critical hits. After a little bit of rest and relaxation for Team MZ and myself, I got another promotion match announcement that I'm about to face off against Ivor from the Fist of Justice. So it was back to work for Wally and Diantha in the Lumiose City nightlife, as we ran through the Zio Royale once again to earn me my next Challenger's ticket. And as I made my way over to Justice Dojo for the promotion match, I was instead challenged to battle by the 5th strongest disciple of the Fist of Justice, Josie, whose 2 Pokemon both got clapped by Diantha's Moonblast. After defeating her, Josie gives us the Seed of Mastery, an item that you can make any move of a Pokemon that is not a plus move, a plus move. You also earn Seeds of Mastery by defeating a wild alpha Pokemon. Ivor storms into the dojo, but not to hurry for the promotion match. His sister Gwen is suddenly missing. So in order to investigate, I headed over to the local bureau with Detective Emma. After navigating our way through the entire town for some information, it led us back to Racine Construction, where Canari was not happy that her live stream was interrupted. Canari was also annoyed by Ivor's presence, but Canari was pleased about the opportunity of facing me in battle once again. Unfortunately, Canari's team went down just like the first time, even though Canari's team of 4 have improved movesets. Wally shook things up for Canari by knocking out 3 of her 4 Pokemons with Earthquake. And in our investigation, the only place we haven't checked in Lumiose City was Lumiose Sewers. Thanks to a Justice Punch from Ivor, we made our way to the deepest part of the sewers, leading us to a secluded area, and that is where Gwen was found. Gwen only headed down to that spot in the sewers for some peace and quiet and prevent Ivor from having promotion matches. So in exchange for that opportunity to face Ivor, I must defeat Gwen in battle first, as she carries a team of ghost types, including a Banette. I chose to lead things off with Diantha, who immediately gets a one-hit KO with Shadow Ball, considering Banette used its only turn by using Heal Block. Gourgeist is Gwen's second Pokemon. It used Trick or Treat to turn Diantha into a Ghost type, but Shadow Claw was already super effective. Gourgeist went down to the Mystical Fire Psychic combination. Then I swapped Wally in for the final part of this fight against Gwen's ace Pokemon Chandelure, who, like many Unova region Pokemon in this game, gets a brand new Mega Evolution. I had Gallade use the less effective Fire Punch to force Chandelure to block it, but it only served as a decoy as Chandelure gets dropped instantaneously by Gallade's super effective Earthquake. I returned to the Justice Dojo after my victory over Gwen to have my scheduled promotion match against Ivor, who carries a team of 4 solid fighting types, including his first one being the part bug type Heracross. Wally and Diantha are both at level 55 for this promotion match, and I led things off with Diantha against Heracross, who only managed to hit Gardevoir 3 times with Pin Missile before getting one-shot by a plus move Psychic. Ivor's second Pokemon is Medicham, a Psychic and Fighting dual typing just like Gallade, who used Aerial Ace, a flying physical attack before Medicham can protect itself, then wiping out Medicham with Shadow Claw. Ivor's penultimate Pokemon is Machamp, that always likes to use Bulk Up the moment it enters, but it never got a chance to damage Gallade before Wally gets the 2-shot with Psycho Cut and Aerial Ace. The final Pokemon left standing for Ivor is his ace Pokemon Phalanx from the Galar region. I decided to make the switch to bring Diantha in to finish off this promotion match right before Phalanx Mega Evolves. Phalanx rammed into Gardevoir with a powerful Iron Head before Diantha got all of her HP back with a plus Draining Kiss, then leveling Phalanx for the victory with a plus Moonblast. The only hope for Ivor was that Phalanx's 2 attacks, Rock Slide or Iron Head, got a flinch. Neither of them did, making for an easy victory for Wally and Diantha, and my rank increases once again to rank D. Wanting to celebrate my victory over Ivor the next day after defeating him, I got the worst possible news from Lida when she walked into Hotel Z, as she told me and Naveen that Tawny borrowed $100,000 from the Rust Syndicate, putting us in some deep trouble. Even though Tawny had her best interest at heart, wanting to make a Hotel Z promotion video to feature me in. So with Lita, I made my way over to the Rust Syndicate office. But before going inside, we were challenged to battle by the second in command named Philippe, who carries a team of Steel types. His first Pokemon is Steelix. So I chose to lead things off with Wally, but knowing that Steelix has bad special defense, I decided to immediately swap into Gardevoir once Steelix set up Stealth Rocks. Thankfully, Mystical Fire activated faster because of the Quick Claw before Gardevoir got the knockout with Psychic. I kept Diantha in as Philippe brought in his second Pokemon Scizor that loves to boost its attack on its first move by using Swords Dance, giving Gardevoir a completely free knockout with Mystical Fire, considering that Scizor's only weakness. I swapped Wally back in to deal with the final Pokemon Felipe brought out for this fight in Skarmory, a steel flying type from the Johto region that got a brand new Mega Evolution. One of Skarmory's moves is the super effective flying special attack Air Slash, but it did not use it at all against Gallade due to Gallade's high special defense, forcing Skarmory to rely on its physical attacks Night Slash, Drill Run, and Steel Wing before getting dropped by Gallade's Fire Punch. Now in the Rust Syndicate headquarters office, we were introduced to, for the first time in this run, Corbeau, the boss of the Rust Syndicate. During our conversation with him, it is when we officially learned that Tawny racked up $1 million in interest. So in order to help Tawny pay off that loan, we had to do some free labor for the Rust Syndicate. At least we left their office unscathed and with a new mission upon returning to Hotel Z. And if you're keeping track of the dialogue, that is now twice that Lita has called Tawny a straight-up idiot. Now that Team MZ and I are temporarily out of the crosshairs of the Rust Syndicate, we were given another task from Vinnie to pacify 3 more Rogue Mega Evolutions, with the first of those 3 being Mega Barbarical. This is the first Rogue Mega battle where getting the TM for Bulk Up after defeating Ivor comes in mighty handily, considering Bulk Up is a fighting setup move that sharply increases your attack and defense by a single stage. That, alongside a moveset where Gallade can hit super effectively with the grass move Leaf Blade, along with Sacred Sword and Psycho Cut for fighting a Psychic type stab, that was just enough to put down Mega Barbarical. The next Rogue Mega fight was also great for Gallade, as it goes up against Rogue Mega Mawile. Considering Mawile is a Steel type, Gallade was able to hit super effectively with Fire Punch and Earthquake. It also helps in this fight that Tawny has Embor, a fire starter from the Unova region that can also hit super effectively against Mawile. The teamwork Tawny and I exhibited against Mawile was unstoppable, and we were able to save another Pokemon from its Rogue Mega state. But before I can challenge Rogue Mega Ampharos alongside Naveen, we came across a Holovator that suddenly stopped working. But the cause of the Holovator not working was the work of Gwen from the Fist of Justice, who only was out there to seek revenge against me for defeating her in Lumiose sewers. Her team is no different than the first time I faced her, except she adds a Gengar, but Wally and Diantha were able to get 2 KOs each, with Wally securing the victory with an Earthquake against Mega Chandelure. After finding out afterwards that it was a wild phantom that caused the Holovators to cease from operating, Naveen and I can operate as a tag team again as we go up against Rogue Mega Ampharos, which Diantha got the assignment of pacifying, and she did a remarkable job considering 2 of Ampharos' Dragon-type moves, Breaking Swipe and Dragon Pulse, can't even hit Gardevoir because she's a Fairy type. That battle with Gwen right before calming down Rogue Mega Ampharos proved to be the perfect warm-up for another ZA Royale run, as I racked up 32 wins with Wally and Diantha while claiming another Challenger's ticket. But I also did something else right before heading back to the Rust Syndicate office. I went ahead and did the 67th side mission in this game involving a Sylveon. And once I completed that side mission, I got the held item Shell Bell, which will be the best form of healing for Gallade throughout the ZA Royale battles. I then received a disturbing call from Corbeau, as it seems, as I had to go back to the Rust Syndicate office. No Tawny, no Lida, no Naveen. It was just me, myself, and my 2 Pokémon. In this private conversation, I was told by Corbeau that I was done working for him, and he promised that he was going to clear off Tawny's loan, and that he's also my next promotion match opponent. So it's a good thing I decided to get my challenger's ticket early, because I was ready to throw down against Corbeau, considering all he wanted out of this conversation was a no-holds-barred Pokemon battle with me. Corbeau has a nasty team of 4 Pokemon, 3 of which are poison types, which Gardevoir and Gallade are both super effective against due to their psychic typing. However, Corbeau's poison types can also hit Gardevoir super effectively because she's also a fairy type. Poison types also resist Gallade's secondary fighting typing, which is why I needed to equip Gardevoir and Gallade with a competitive moveset for this bout against Corbeau. His first Pokemon is Arbok, who loves to poison opposing Pokemon immediately with Toxic, which is why I gave Gallade a Pecha Berry to cure the poison. At the same time, it deleted the Kanto Stick from the battle with Earthquake. I kept Gallade in to finish off Corbeau's second Pokemon, Gyarados, with a 4 times effective Thunder Punch, preventing Gyarados from soaring into the sky and hit Gallade with a super effective bounce. I forgot to fully heal up Gardevoir for this fight against Roserade, but it still didn't matter, as the combination of Mystical Fire and Psychic took Roserade out. I immediately swapped Wally back in for the final confrontation of this promotion match against Corbeau's ace Pokemon Scolipede, another Unova region Pokemon that got a new Mega Evolution. It has high defense when it Mega Evolves, but it's painfully slow. Scolipede couldn't properly defend itself as Aerial Ace penetrated through to protect, giving Gallade an obscenely free knockout for the victory with Psycho Cut. This was a gratifying victory for Wally and Diantha, as this was more than just a promotion match win. As I leave Rust Syndicate with the rank of C, something even more significant is in store for all of us. Waking up after a promotion match victory never felt this good, because after defeating Corbeau, there's only one thing I wanted to do, and that is head over to Quasartico Incorporated to purchase 2 Megastones. After seeing everybody else Mega Evolve their Pokemon against me, I can now do it against them. Because once you defeat Corbeau, you get access to the Gardevoirite and the Galladite. I simply cannot wait to showcase the newfound power for my precious Wally and Diantha after they both continue tearing it up in the ZA Royale en route to collecting another Challenger's ticket. And I did not have to wait too long because, as fate would have it, Lida and Naveen, my fellow Team MZ friends, recently acquired their own Mega Reigns from AZ, which means they can Mega Evolve their ace Pokemon. Lida was first up against Wally, who absolutely sliced and diced her entire team. And I do feel the least bit sorry that Lida still hasn't evolved her Staryu. I wish there was some way she could evolve it. As for Naveen, he does have a Pokemon that can Mega Evolve on his team in his beloved Scrafty, but he does have a fatal flaw, and that is his entire team is weak to either Psychic or Fairy type moves, and Diantha is both of those types, as she curb stomped his entire team, including Scrafty, that has the unfortunate distinction of being 4 times weak to Fairy. All that battling worked us an appetite, so we headed to the Nouveau Cafe truck near Centrico Plaza, which will be a very important spot later on. As we struck up a conversation, a new one started once we got a surprise interruption from the Society of Battle Connoisseurs. Representing the SBC is Liban, who cordially invited only Tawny and myself to compete in an exclusive battle tournament that is to be held at Hotel Richissimi in the northern area of Lumiose City. But before going there was one more thing I felt the need to do. and that is head to the fanciest clothing store in all of Lumiose City that is not in a shopping arcade, and that is Boutique Couture. After defeating Fury-Souled Girl Asami in a one-on-one, with Diantha showing her Florges who the most superior fairy type is in Lumiose City, she was so enamored by my battling style that I got brand new wardrobe for free. I didn't stay in this outfit for much longer, as I went into Boutique Couture and purchased that same outfit in green, which is what I will be wearing for the remainder of this challenge, as I joined Tawny in heading to Hotel Richissime. There, we met some familiar faces of trainers I have already defeated at least once, and the mood in the room changed the moment Lady Jacinthe appeared on the scene. She is the richest person in all of Lumiose City, the owner of this fine establishment, the leader of the SBC, and someone I came to learn later that she's also a student of the world-renowned actress and Kalos region champion that I nicknamed my own Gardevoir after. The stars were aligned for this exclusive tournament, but before it could get underway, a ring alerted from Tawny's phone, as Vinnie called from out of the blue to inform Tawny and myself there's 3 more Pokémon in Lumiose City that could potentially go rogue. So, we had to leave Hotel Richissime for the time being, despite Lead Band's desperate attempt of keeping us held hostage until the tournament was over. Wally and Diantha will have to wait a little bit longer to show off Mega Evolution power in a promotion match, as calming down Rogue Mega Evolutions are first priority for Team MZ as we engage in the 4th round of dealing with 3 more Rogue Mega Evolutions, starting with Frostlass. I had Gardevoir for this fight, considering it can hit super effectively against the Ghost and Ice type with both Shadow Ball and Mystical Fire, the latter of which has the capability of lowering the special attack stat of Frostlass by 1 stage. What also helps is that we can finally Mega Evolve in these Rogue Mega fights. Once Frostlass sets up its patented Blizzard attack, we have to hide behind one of the blocks of ice to avoid suffering from frostbite. Once the icebergs were broken, our concentration was not, as Gardevoir was able to shred through the large HP bar before we eventually calmed down Rogue Mega Frostlass. I then teamed up with Tawny to square off against Rogue Mega Venusaur second. I followed the same form of strategy with Gallade against Venusaur like I did against Victory Bell, considering it's also a grass and poison type. Not to mention Venusaur is the first starter Pokemon I ever chose in a Pokemon game. Packing Gallade with the familiar moveset of Psycho Cut, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch along with Swords Dance Boost, Venusaur was taken care of in quick fashion. I next joined Lita as we try to pacify Rogue Mega Altaria, a Pokemon that can float up into the sky considering it's a dragon and fairy dual typing. Fortunately for me, Diantha can float up into the sky to hit her with attacks as well. Once again relying on Calm Mind setups, Gardevoir was able to strike super effectively with all of her attacks being Moonblast, Icy Wind to lower Altaria's speed for a while, and Draining Kiss to heal. That and Lita's Ice-type Vanillux dealing big damage with Ice Beam, we were able to free Altaria from its suffering. My research level for Professor Mabel is nearly at level 40, so I was able to earn 10 battle caps, and after earning another one by doing a side mission, I can hyper train both Wally and Diantha, using all 11 battle caps on my 2 Pokemon, only needing 5 for Gallade when I learned that it was already best in its special defense IVs. I returned to Hotel Z with some concerns about the SBC and how they would deal with me and Tawny leaving so early right before the tournament was about to begin. My concerns were raised pretty high and was turned into outright ire once I saw this stupid-looking purple-colored battle zone impeding our progress as we went out to go to one of the cafes to have some coffee with each other. The SBC didn't take too kindly of our departure, especially Jacinthe, considering this zone was called the Jacinthe Zone. In order for that atrocity to be removed, I had to battle 2 SBC socialites in order. And once I defeat them, I then had to deal with Jacinthe's right-hand Lady Liban, who warned us of Jacinthe's prideful actions. Wally and Diantha are both at level 68 for this upcoming fight. The most depressing part about it for Liban is that her 4 Pokemon all are dragon types that are weak to fairy type moves, which is child's play for my chosen lead for this fight, Diantha the Gardevoir, who easily got rid of Liban's first Pokemon Noivern with a Moonblast, even though Gardevoir lost a chunk of its HP because of Noivern's Super Fang. Predictably, Garchomp comes out second, loving to boost its attack with Swords Dance, so I took the opportunity for Gardevoir to heal up with Draining Kiss, then protect against Garchomp's super effective Iron Head before the Sinnoh region pseudo-legendary got cooled off by a quad effective Icy Wind. Gardevoir did lose nearly half of itself due to Garchomp's Earthquake, so I swapped in Gallade to deal with Liban's final 2 Pokemon, and I was not fooling around as I immediately Mega Evolved Wally against the 3rd Pokemon of Liban, the Rock and Dragon Fossil Tyrantrum, who easily went down in 2 hits thanks to Gallade's super effective Brick Break and Ice Punch. Gallade was also there because I felt it was the best option of taking down Liban's ace Pokemon, Dragalge, which is also a poison type, and yet another Pokemon from the Unova region that got a brand new Mega Evolution. Gallade's Brick Break took off a quarter before Dragalge could protect, then Liban's precious partner got cut out of this conversation with a Psycho Cut for the win. After hearing Liban's backstory about her tumultuous relationship with Jacinthe, it was then I found out on my Rotom phone that my next promotion match opponent in the ZA Royale is against Jacinthe, so it was back to Hotel Richissimi for me. Upon our return, most if not all the trainers in the hotel were angry at us. Figuring that the tournament was off, they tried to leave, before they were trapped by one of those silly Jacinthe zones. The most agitated of those trainers was Canari, and I'm pretty sure she made a deal with Jacinthe behind the scenes to put her up against me in the first round of this tournament, evidenced by that bracket on her projector screen. Jacinthe also thought it was cool to make herself the Ultra Deluxe top seed, not having to battle at all and watch everyone else battle it out until there was only 1 trainer left. Well, let's do this. Canari's team is still the same team of 4 you battled against the previous 2 times, with Gardevoir taking down both her Stunfisk and Ampharos, with Gallade defeating both her lead Pokemon Heliolisk before knocking out her final Pokemon Mega Electros with an Earthquake. Tawny got eliminated in the first round of this tournament by Corbeau. I next went up against Ivor in the quarterfinals. His team doesn't change much either. The only difference is Mega Gardevoir was able to get the victory over Phalanx without suffering a scratch, because Ivor decided to use No Retreat on Mega Phalanx to get an Omni boost. I didn't have to worry about healing up Gardevoir for the battle against Corbeau this time, considering your Pokemon get fully healed after every single battle, and it was the same song and dance as last time, as Mega Gallade got another free win over Corbeau's Mega Scolipede. I'm now in the finals of this tournament, before it was greeted by yet another interruption, this time from the legendary Zygarde, who wished to battle me again. Only this time, Zygarde morphed into its 50% form, which Gardevoir was able to defeat once again, especially considering this battle against Zygarde has 2 Dragon-type moves that Gardevoir is immune to. However, Zygarde still hit Diantha hard with its other 2 moves, Land's Wrath and Crunch, before being blinded by the lights from Gardevoir's dazzling gleam. Zygarde got its wish. Now Jacinthe and I can get ours, as we're about to tangle with each other in not only the finals of her tournament, it's also my promotion match. Wally and Diantha are at level 70 for this promotion match, and even though Wally's secondary typing of fighting is weak to fairy type attacks, I led off with Wally anyway, considering I loaded Gallade up with a moveset that could hit super effectively against all but 1 of Jacinthe's 5 Pokemon, starting with her lead, the Fairy and Rock dual-typing Carbink. I had Gallade get up close and personal with Carbink with a super effective Earthquake as it set up Stealth Rocks, before knocking out Carbink with a neutral Brick Break, healing up some of the HP it lost from the Stealth Rocks because Gallade is holding the Shell Bell. The Fairy and Steel dual-typing Mawile came out second, playing a little rough with Wally before it gets obliterated by Gallade's second Earthquake of this bout. Oh dear, Jacinthe has a Gardevoir of her own. So what? Gallade gets the two-shot with X-Scissor and Shadow Claw, as Gardevoir, all it did was set up its special stats with Calm Mind. Jacinthe is clearly not being serious as she brought out her Rock and Ice-type Fossil Aurorus, a Pokemon who's 4 times weak to Brick Break. Wally did its job perfectly. Time to freshen up this place again by bringing out Diantha, my very own Gardevoir, to square off against Jacinthe's ace Pokemon Clefable, as I proudly Mega Evolve for the first time in a promotion match, right before Jacinthe does the same with Clefable, one of the OGs of the Kanto region that now gains the secondary flying typing when it Mega Evolves. Knowing that Clefable loves to protect, I had Gardevoir charge up a Psychic attack, doing a little bit of chip damage, opening the door for Gardevoir to secure the victory with the combination of Thunderbolt and Icy Wind. Now everyone can go home happy, especially yours truly, as I leave Hotel Richicity with a promotion to Rank B. Now, given a task by Vinnie immediately to pacify 3 final Rogue Megas, I went after Starmie first, but the area where Starmie is got blocked off by the Rust Syndicate, where Philippe challenged me to a rematch, adding an Aggron to his team, but it's the same old story as Mega Skarmory got zapped out of the sky by Diantha's Thunderbolt. After surrendering, Philippe gave Lita a Water Stone, which means she can finally evolve her precious Staryu, which made for the perfect transition into this Rogue Mega Evolved boss battle against Starmie, which now has a higher physical attack stat than its special attack once Mega Evolved, but it's still a Water and Psychic dual typing, which is why I equipped Mega Gallade with a critical hit-based moveset of Night Slash, Leaf Blade, and Shadow Claw, which all strike Starmie for super effective damage, also increasing Gallade's attack and defense occasionally when I use Bulk Up. Once Gallade was finished slaying Mega Starmie with its slicing type moves, I used Gallade again for the next Rogue Mega fight as I joined Naveen in an attempt to pacify Rogue Mega Tyranitar. Keeping Bulk Up in Gallade's moveset, I made a complete overhaul for the rest, equipping Gallade with Earthquake and 2 fighting type moves, Close Combat, and Sacred Sword, considering Tyranitar is quad weak to fighting type attacks. I saved the most frightening Rogue Mega fight for last as I joined forces with Tawny against Rogue Mega Dragonite, which has 2 threatening charge-up attacks, one of which sets up both thunderstorms and hurricanes at once. Once you get Dragonite to below 50% of its health, its strongest attack is going high up into the sky before unleashing a devastating Hyper Beam that always leaves the player down to 1 HP. Fortunately, the Calm Mind boosted Moonblast, Draining Kisses, and Dazzling Gleams from Mega Gardevoir ultimately prevailed in calming down Dragonite. After another long day's work of pacifying Rogue Mega Evolutions, Wally and Diantha continue to impose their will on opposing trainers in the ZA Royale as I'm able to secure my final Challengers ticket. On the next morning, I returned to Hotel Z, where all of us had a debate on who the strongest Mega Evolution user should be, gaining access to potentially Mega Evolving Floette when another crisis comes. And that's when I learned that my final opponent in the ZA Royale is Grisham. Not knowing exactly who this Grisham guy is, I headed to Looker Bureau along with Tawny to get some answers from Detective Emma. In exchange for what she seemingly knew, Emma challenged me to a Pokemon battle. This time, she doesn't have a single Mareep, she has her own team of 5, which starts with her fully evolved Ampharos, a Pokemon I've had a lot of experience battling already. So I had Diantha be the one to take control of this bout, as she was able to defeat her first 4 Pokemon with only using the 3 moves of Psychic, Draining Kiss, and Mystical Fire. The latter of those moves cast the final blow on Mawile and Lucario. The 4th move in Gardevoir's moveset for this fight was Shadow Ball, a move that Lopunny can't get hit by because of its normal typing, but it still got knocked out by Psychic. I substituted Wally in to close things out against the ace Pokemon of Emma that also got a brand new Mega Evolution, Kalos native Malamar, a Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Gallade's X-Scissor. After defeating Emma, she told me about Team Flare, which led me to the Pokemon Research Lab, where I got even more information from a Team Flare alumni, Professor Mabel. But before heading to my next destination, I went ahead and did the 90-second side mission for this game, the Beldum Blockade, where 4 wild Beldum were blocking an inactive Holovator. After Gallade shook things up with an earthquake, I was able to get another extremely valuable held item, the Rocky Helmet. When a Pokemon holds the Rocky Helmet, the opposing Pokemon takes damage when delivering physical contact to the Pokemon. The sources I picked up from Mabel led me back to that Nouveau Cafe truck near Centrico Plaza, where I found out who this Grisham guy truly is. He's not just the guy that takes your order, he's also the boss of Team Flare Nouveau. I was then led by Grisham and Grizel to Lysander Cafe, a once thriving business area in Lumiose City. But before going inside, Grizel challenged me to a Pokemon battle. Grizel's team of 5 is the main reason why I went for the Rocky Helmet in the first place. With Diantha holding it, Grizel's first Pokemon is Talonflame, who lost a little bit of HP connecting with Gardevoir by hitting with Quick Attack. But before Talonflame can charge up a Flare Blitz, it gets zapped out of existence by Diantha's Thunderbolts. Grizel then brings in another flying type that's also a rock type in the Kanto Fossil Aerodactyl, who gets knocked out in one turn thanks to the combination of Gardevoir's Thunderbolt, and Aerodactyl was actually knocked out due to Rocky Helmet damage. The Rocky Helmet also paid dividends against the Hoenn region pseudo-legendary Metagross, who went down to the Rocky Helmet, and the 2 moves Gardevoir used, a super effective Shadow Ball and a less effective Draining Kiss. I swapped Gardevoir out and brought in Wally the Gallade, immediately Mega Evolving right as Grizel brought out her 4th Pokemon, Camerupt. On the opening attack, Gallade was able to do some damage through the Protect of Camerupt with Earthquake, taking off nearly half of Camerupt's health before going down to a Sacred Sword. And now the last Pokemon left for Grizel is her ace Pokemon, a male Pyroar, another Pokemon from the Kalos region that gets a new Mega Evolution. Grizel's main tactic with Pyroar is to use Snarl to lower the opposing Pokemon's special attack, which left the Lion wide open to get knocked out by an Earthquake, scoring another victory for Wally and Diantha. Going in Lysander Labs made me realize what's really going on inside Prism Tower, the ultimate weapon that still dwells within it, and it was AZ's creation all along. I even got more truth from AZ himself, putting me in a conflicted state and a very uneasy position. But I was not the least bit intimidated as I stood face to face with Grisham in the mother of all promotion matches. However, Grisham is not like any other trainer we've faced before, considering he's the first one in this entire challenge that has a full team of 6, with his first one being Pangoro, one of 4 Pokemon on Grisham's team that's weak to Fairy-type moves, and one of 3 Pokemon that's weak to Fighting-type moves, which is the main reason why I elected to have Diantha be the one to start things off. Pangoro protected from a Moonblast, but was not able to shield itself from being knocked out by a quad-effective Draining Kiss, which got Gardevoir back to full HP after taking little damage from Pangoro's Crunch. Grisham's second Pokemon is Malamar, a Pokemon Gallade knocked out to finish off the battle with Emma. Gardevoir got the one-shot with Moonblast after being put in a drowsy state thanks to Malamar using that first turn Hypnosis. Gallade was in there for only a few seconds as it annihilated the female Pyroar with close combat, because I need to keep Gallade fresh for Grisham's ace, which is why I swapped Gardevoir in, as it used Icy Wind to take down another Hoenn region pseudo-legendary in Salamence. I had Diantha put in a little bit of overtime against another pseudo-legendary from the Johto region in Tyranitar, lowering its speed with Icy Wind, surviving with 21 HP before healing up with Draining Kiss, then lowering the boom on Tyranitar with Moonblast for the KO. And now, I'm in a very advantageous position, as I brought Wally back in to deal with Grisham's ace Pokemon, one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, Charizard, as Grisham evolves into Mega Charizard X. giving it the secondary dragon typing, and one of few that can say they have two different Mega Evolutions. Thinking that Charizard was going for Protect, I waited until Charizard was going to set up a Flare Blitz, which it didn't do, so I immediately Mega Evolved Wally. Apparently, Grisham wanted me to make the first move, so I went with Stone Edge with Charizard protected against, but then it gets one-shot by an Earthquake. Now that Charizard is a Fire Dragon type, it loses its immunity to Ground-type moves, considering it's a Fire and Flying typing. And with that, I'm able to defeat Grisham and obtain the highest ranking in the ZA Royale, as I get one final promotion to Rank A. Once again returning to Hotel Z, eating dinner with my fellow Team MZ comrades, we found out from Tawny that we now have 2 A-ranked trainers in the mist. But before we could sleep on it, Lumiose City and its inhabitants got awoken by an alarm that they did not expect to hear, in the form of a monstrous explosion that came from Prism Tower. We joined AZ and Eternal Flower Floette atop the roof of Hotel Z, and as we now clearly see, Prism Tower is about to explode at any given moment, considering it's now covered in Rogue Mega Evolution energy. Tawny got another call from Vinnie, suggesting that all of Team MZ head down to Centrico Plaza and get to the bottom of the situation. Floette made the trip with us, while AZ stayed back at Hotel Z. We hurriedly made our way to Centrico Plaza near the tower, and once getting there, I was challenged by Tawny to one final battle to not only determine who the strongest A-rank trainer is between us, it's also for the right to be the one to control the tower and Mega Evolve Floette. Wally the Gallade and Diantha the Gardevoir are now at level 80 for this decisive Team MZ Battle Showdown, as Tawny's team has doubled in size, as she leads with one of her newest additions, a female Meowstic. And this full battle got off to a rousing start, as Gallade one-shots Meowstic with a critical hit X-Scissor, in spite of the fact that Meowstic was able to set up a Reflect. Tawny's second Pokemon is Goodra, that has a high special defense base stat, which is why I kept Gallade in to shatter Meowstic's Reflect with Brick Break, then getting another one-shot, eliminating Goodra with Ice Punch despite being poisoned by Toxic. Avalugg is the complete opposite of Goodra with a very high physical defense, which is why I brought Gardevoir in, forcing Avalugg to protect against Psychic before getting melted into a popsicle courtesy of Mystical Fire. Speaking of fire, Emboar came out fourth. Setting up its attack and defense with Bulk Up, it never got to land an attack as it got one-shot by Psychic from Diantha. Tawny's penultimate Pokemon is Manectric. I swapped Wally back in, forcing Manectric to block an Ice Punch, but it wasn't going to stop the tremors from underneath its feet as one Earthquake drops the Hoenn region Shock Puppy. The chemistry of Wally and Diantha are now at its peak, as I swap Diantha back in for the final duel of this battle with Tawny, as she brings out her ace, Meganium, a Pokemon that's a pure grass type, but gains the secondary fairy typing once it Mega Evolves. As long as Tawny has a Meganium on her team, if she doesn't see an immediate KO, she always goes for Leech Seed first. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is checkmate, as the Mystical Fire Icy Wind combination from Gardevoir puts Meganium down for the count, as I am victorious over the leader of Team MZ, making me the strongest trainer and strongest Mega Evolution user in all of Lumiose City. Even after that incredible win, our job is not finished. Regardless of the final outcome, Tawny or Urbane, if you're the female avatar for a playthrough, will still end up being the one Mega Evolving Eternal Flower Floette and ascending to the top of Prism Tower. Once inside and on the control panel, Tawny appeared to have calmed things down for good, but Ange decided to flip the script and went absolutely berserk, busting through the windows of Prism Tower, causing droplets of Mega Evolution energy to spray all over Lumiose City, and Pokemon started to go rogue and Mega Evolve without warning. Tawny appeared to be fine and unharmed, And from a distance while in the tower, she was able to see Zygarde in the Magenta District, giving me a brand new mission. But while we were thinking about what to do, a Gengar and a Heracross, now Mega Evolved, showed up on the scene. I used Gardevoir to avert this threat with the help of Lida and Naveen, considering Gardevoir can hit both Gengar and Heracross super effectively with Psychic. The most dire situations called for one final Team MZ strategy meeting that was crashed by all the top trainers in Lumiose City. Jacinthe was able to set up 5 rendezvous spots for me to get to so that I may ultimately reach Zygarde. Getting to the first spot, I was joined by Ivor and Gwen from the Fist of Justice, as I used Gardevoir once again in pacifying a trio of Rogue Mega Evolutions at once, being Kangaskhan, Pidgeot, and Garchomp, the latter of which I zeroed in on the most, and once the Chomp was gone, it made it easier to take down Kangaskhan and Pidgeot as well. On the second rendezvous spot, I joined forces with Canari from Dynamo, as we teamed up to pacify Rogue Mega Blastoise and Rogue Mega Steelix. I nearly blacked out twice in that matchup, considering Blastoise wanted all the smoke, but we were able to take both of them down as I used Mega Gallade. Terragon whipped up the largest scaffolding course I had to clear in order to proceed to the third rendezvous spot, where I teamed up with Liban from the SPC, as we were given the task of pacifying Rogue Mega Aggron and Rogue Mega Salamence. Once again, I used Gallade for that matchup. Liban singled out Salamence, allowing for me to focus on Aggron, normally a Rock and Steel type, but loses the Rock typing when it Mega Evolves, making it weak to Fire Punch. Rendezvous spot number 4 hit closer to home for me because now I have no choice but to pacify Rogue Mega Gallade and Rogue Mega Gardevoir, with lots of help from Corbeau from the Rust Syndicate, who focused entirely on Gallade throughout this entire fight, giving me the opportunity to free that Gardevoir from its frenzied state with my own Gardevoir. I'm now closer to Zygarde in the 5th and final rendezvous spot, where I was rudely cut off by 3 more Rogue Mega Evolutions in Alakazam, Aerodactyl, and Metagross. Then at the very last minute, Grisham and Grizel from Team Flare Nouveau stepped up to aid in my cause, each giving us a target to focus on until all 3 Pokémon were defeated. I believe this was a final test from Zygarde to test my abilities, and now that we're together, we team up as the last line of defense against the final boss of this run, Hyper Rogue Ange Floette, as Zygarde got all 100 cells needed to morph into its 100% complete form. Zygarde put all its trust in me to do damage to Hyper Rogue Ange Floette, a boss that has no immunities, but it also has no weaknesses. It's a 3-stage boss battle, where I must take down both the blue and red flowers in succession, as they both have small separate life bars. Once both flowers are taken down, that will give Zygarde an opening to land an attack. I led off with Gardevoir for the first phase, soloing the entirety of it, considering I equipped Gardevoir with its 2 best stab moves of Moonblast and Psychic, while also gaining 2 forms of healing with Draining Kiss and Wish. Once I stored up enough energy in my Mega Power Bar, that gives Gardevoir the freedom to Mega Evolve. There are certain spots within the rubble where you can shield yourself from taking big damage. I dialed it on the red flower first, and once it got disposed of, it made it easy for me to take on the blue flower until the blue flower was done for. Now Zygarde has its first opportunity to strike, as I selected 1,000 waves, bringing Ange Floette down to 3/4 of its life bar. The second phase begins from that point, as Ange Floette fires off a powerful Light of Ruin attack, which will instantly knock out the player unless if you go underneath Zygarde's protective shield. The blue and red flowers immediately re-emerge, and this gave me the opportunity to use Gallade against the 2 flowers with the moveset of Psycho Cut and Sacred Sword, 2 of its strongest stab moves, along with Stone Edge and Earthquake. Once the red flower was taken down first again, Light of Ruin fired off a second time, and once the coast was clear, Gallade was able to take down the blue flower as well without even mega evolving. For the second time, Zygarde gets its opportunity to strike with 1,000 waves. The rest of its moveset includes Land's Wrath and 1,000 arrows, with the fourth move up top being the dragon move Core Enforcer still being charged up. I kept Gallade out for the third phase, where the blue flower puts up a magnetic force field that will do continuous and consistent damage to your Pokémon if you let it stay in there too long while attacking. After finally Mega Evolving Wally, that gave Gallade just enough juice to put down the red flower at last, leaving only the blue flower remaining. Floette fired off Light of Ruin again, right after I healed up Gallade with a max potion. I kept Gallade in to take down half of the blue flower's health bar, and once my Mega Energy ran out, I swapped in Gardevoir to take care of the rest, as Diantha was able to knock out the blue flower with one final Moonblast. Floette is now deep into the red, creating another opening for Zygarde, and I'll let this cutscene speak for itself. The rampage of Floette is over. Wally the Gallade, Diantha the Gardevoir, with massive help from the legendary Zygarde, along with the combined efforts of every single top trainer in Lumiose City, Team MZ and I were able to save all of Lumiose City from destruction. But wait, Floette still has life. Its flower just opened. It's about to fire off Light of Ruin again! There is one silver lining. Remember that pebble Zygarde gave me at the middle of this challenge? It's starting to shake. But that was no ordinary pebble. It's the Zygardeite Stone, which means Zygarde can Mega Evolve. I have officially lived up to my name, ladies and gentlemen, as that is how I managed to defeat all of Pokemon Legends ZA using only Gardevoir and Gallade. To all of you who took this time out and wanted to view this from the beginning to the end and enjoyed the experience along with me, I sincerely thank you. If you love content like this, be sure to leave a like, and if you are a newcomer, please consider clicking the subscribe button, considering every subscription tells me that I'm doing something right and will further inspire me to want to make more gaming content. Take care, God bless you all, keep on shining, and I'll see you on the next one.